Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video, looking at the GWV extended model for today's second video. So as always on a Tuesday, we've got the extended European outlook, and I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just to say that first, the video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, and we've got a 10 to 14 there with all of the regular features on the way later on this afternoon as well. Please like, share and subscribe on all today's videos and content. Thank you so much everyone for doing that, and thank you so much to GWF.int for supplying the charts as well, by the way. Thank you so much, EC. Right, okay, we're going to start off with the week 1 mean sail pressure anomaly for Europe. So we've got high pressure sitting to the north of the UK and Ireland, between UK and Ireland and Iceland, and that high pressure ridges back into another high but sitting across the far northeast Europe. Then low pressure from the Atlantic into western central parts of Europe, with the Azores high trying to push northwards in towards Spain. 500 millibar heights look like that. So low pressure dominating from the Atlantic. Oops, up there. Low pressure dominating from the Atlantic into western parts of Europe. Higher pressure to the north and also over to the east, and then a ridge from the Azores high into southern parts of Spain like that. Right, so let's have a temperature anomaly. Talking real east-west split across Europe this week. So we've got cooler than average temperature anomalies in the far west, covering Ireland, the UK, France, which are below countries, and down to Spain and Portugal as well. It gets progressively warmer further eastwards, and very warm to hot conditions across the eastern part of Europe, particularly Ukraine to the Black Sea, and then going southwards towards Romania, for example, and in towards Greece and Turkey. Also back to Austria, Hungary. Those sort of areas are looking pretty hot. The Med also has an east-west split, you'll notice. So the western portion of the Med looks a bit cool around the Balearic Islands and back to Spain, Portugal, whereas it's much warmer for Italy, Greece and Turkey. And precipitation-wise, it's looking like this. Again, quite an east-west split, actually, with precipitation. So wetter than average conditions through large portions of the UK, although Ireland and West Scotland are looking drier. We see wetter than average conditions through much of France as well, up into the Low Countries and to Germany and much of Poland. And then they carry on north into Scandinavia, so we've got Denmark, large portions of Norway and Sweden also coming out wetter than average. Southern parts of Europe are a lot drier, although the far northwest of Spain down to Portugal, bit on the wet side there, but other parts of Spain mostly dry. And then the central bowl of the Med, including the holiday islands of Mallorca, Minorca, Ibiza, Corsica, Sardinia, all looking rather dry, as is Italy. Greece also coming out quite dry, but Turkey looks wetter. And then we go northwards of that into the Balkans, again through Romania, towards the Black Sea, up to Ukraine and into southwest of Russia, and we have drier than average conditions through there. Week 2 will be the 15th to the 22nd of July, so low pressure beginning to back off into the Atlantic as higher pressure starts to build across the north and into the west of Europe, with lower pressure tending to be more towards the south and the southeast. The 500 millibar height anomaly looks like that, with above average heights again across much of northern, central and also western and southern parts of Europe, as the low pressure, again the trough, is kind of forced back into the Atlantic. Temperature anomalies are still looking a bit on the cool side, though, for western parts of Europe. Not as cool as this week, but nevertheless, England and down to France looking a bit cooler than average. Ireland, no better than average, really. And even parts of Portugal coming out a bit cooler than average, so Spain does look relatively warm. The warmest conditions next week are again over on the eastern side of Europe, especially around the Black Sea and going up to Ukraine and southwestern parts of Russia, also into Belarus. We see much warmer than average conditions there, but generally above average temperatures anywhere from about central Germany eastwards. That includes Scandinavia, Nordic regions, as well as the Baltic Sea states of Latvia, Estonia and also Lithuania too. And for Southern Europe, most areas are actually warmer than average, particularly the further east you go, Italy to Greece and Turkey, hotter than average conditions through there. Not too bad if anybody's off on holiday, perhaps to the Greek islands. This is how the temperature, precipitation anomaly looking, I should say. Now, many areas looking relatively dry, especially the western, southwestern part of Europe, although perhaps hinting at still being a bit wetter than average through Norway, potentially maybe through parts of Ireland and Britain as well. Eastern parts of Europe looking relatively dry, and I'd say much of southern Europe coming out pretty dry as well. Week 3 will be the 22nd to the 29th of July. So, quite a bit of low pressure through southern Europe, but a lot of that could be heat lows, though, rather than actual areas of low pressure. Just white areas interesting what's going on up here. Could there be a ridge building through there? With 500 millibar high, some doesn't really suggest that. Some higher pressure through Biscay, but otherwise, the real high pressure appears to be back across the far northeastern portion of Europe and into Russia again. The temperature anomaly looks a bit on the cool side again through western parts of Europe, so this will bring us out at a cooler than average month for the UK, for example, probably for France and Ireland, maybe the Low Countries as well. All those areas again for the last full week of July looking a bit on the cool side. Spain and Portugal looking relatively warm, and much of eastern, southern and southeastern Europe coming out with above average temperatures as well. Precipitation for week 3 looks like that. So a weakening signal as always, further out you go. It does look a little bit drier than average show through France, up in towards the UK and Ireland potentially, and into the northeast of Europe as well, but otherwise not much of a signal. Week 4 will be the 29th of July to the 5th of August. High pressure back in over Scandinavia, you say Spain then, and that will bring easterly winds into northern and eastern parts of Europe. Meanwhile, southern Europe again with lower pressure, but again that could be heat lows rather than actual areas of low pressure. 500 millibar heights look quite encouraging if you want some dry and hot weather in the north of Europe with that big ridge of high pressure taking over there. Temperature anomaly lifting up across northern Europe. Still a little bit cooler than average France, but I think generally the trend is to warmer conditions across northern Europe, joining in with the south and also with the eastern portion of Europe in being warmer than average. Not much of a signal for precipitation, but Western Europe does look a little bit on the drier than average side. Right, that's your 30-day look ahead done, but let's go for weeks 5 and 6 data before we go. So week 5 will be the 5th to the 12th of August. Very weak signal for mean sea level pressure anomaly. Very weak signal for 500 millibar height anomaly as well. Temperature anomaly is a little bit on the warmer than average side for Western Europe. Highest temperature anomalies remain in the south and the east of Europe, and southern Europe getting the driest conditions. And then lastly, week 6 will be the 12th to the 19th of August. Again, very weak signals for mean sea level pressure. A little bit more of a ridge into western parts of Europe. There, that's the Azores high pushing back northwards again, probably. Temperature anomaly is actually a bit cooler though through northern and western Europe, probably as the wind turns into the northwest. And lastly, precipitation, not much of a signal, it's too far away. Right, well, that's your 30-day look ahead done. If you've enjoyed the extended European outlook, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll do it all over again next Tuesday. Remember, any forecast beyond 5-7 days comes with big health warnings and large pinches of salt attached, so that's always the caveat. We will be looking at this model again on Saturday morning with a UK and Ireland focused video. We're going to be back a little bit later on with your 10 to 14 depth, which will include all of the regular features. Come back to that later. But for the extended European outlook, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.